Good morning, everybody. It's July 1st, and this is Listings to Leads, and this is our call on how to get more listings. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think July 1st is a big date regarding listing and also regarding buyer compensation. And so I think buyer compensation is still a question for some people out there in the country. So how to get more listings is very straightforward, and your compensation is very clear. So I think that there's going to be more competition now than there ever has been. It's always been competitive to get listings. And so it's good you're on this call, because I'm going to tell you the ways that are working right now. All right. If you don't know much about Listings to Leads, I don't know how long you've been here or been a client of ours. We have tools, automated listing marketing, a lot of free social media content. We have landing pages, and we have PDF guides. And there's even tools for your reviews and things like this. But all of these tools are designed to capture leads. So while you might have heard of many tools that I'm going to kind of name here, you might be from agencies that have these sorts of things. And typically what all the big real estate shops have, even the biggest brands in the country, they have your branding down, right? They don't have any lead capture down for you. They have branding. And that's what we focus on. We know that agents are doing a lot of actions. They're taking a lot of steps throughout their day. They're sharing a lot of information. But what they're doing is they're sharing colorful things. And colorful things are really cool. They just don't capture name, phone number, and email. They don't capture contact information. And that's where we come in. So when we have automated listing marketing, you can actually use your listings to get buyers, but also you can use your listings to get more listings. A lot of our clients have told us that they can double and triple their listing count each listing by using our tools. And I'll show you the tool that we're talking about. So there's a lot to the platform. We're going to jump into how to get listings today, but I do want to let everybody know, as people are logging in, there is a little chat bar or something, navigation bar for GoToMeeting. If you click on more and you click on material, you can download 2 PDFs, two flyers. This is one of them, Top Tools for More Listing. And this one we're going to go over together in just a minute here. But I recommend that you print this, because if you want more listings, you're going to want to be doing the things on this list consistently. Okay. And print it. That's all I can tell you. Leave it on your desk. There's also another flyer that's called Facebook and Google ads. And Facebook and Google are both very important to get more listings. So you might want to print that as well. Now, every class that we do, including this one, is recorded, and it's on this channel. I'm going to send this to everybody who's on actually, if somebody could just type in the questions area, question, then I can answer with this link. And as I mentioned, there are 2 flyers, and one, thanks, Martha. One is called, sending this to everybody right now, this page. One is called Facebook and Google ads, and one is Top Tools for More Listings. And since we're talking about Top Tools for More Listings, you can see that I did one here 2 weeks ago, right? Facebook and Google ads is up here. I did this 10 days ago. And actually, when it comes to getting more listings, I recommend that you watch today's call and maybe 1 or 2 more other Top Tools for More Listing, because you'll notice there's a byline underneath where I have a particular focus on one aspect of the platform. So while I am talking about top tools to get listings, there's usually something I'm hearing during the week or something, feedback that we're getting that maybe you can benefit from. So I share that with you. You should all have this link. What I'm suggesting is at least watch 1 or 2 Facebook and Google ads classes, and definitely watch 1 or 2 more Top Tools for More Listings. Then you should really know what you've got to do. And if you tie that in with the flyer here, you're definitely going to have a good working plan. Okay. There's also the Mastermind group. Now, this is a great resource. It's an online private group. If you're not in it, you can't find it. This is where Scott and I talk about what's going on, what new technology we have coming. And it's also where our clients ask questions or share what they're doing. So we'll come back here a little bit later. This one right here is our number one. We'll jump into this in just a minute. It's our number one deal. of how to get more listings. So since it's right here at the top of the page, somebody must be looking at this and yeah. Okay. So we'll dissect this in just a minute. So you got YouTube, you got our live training, and you got our mastermind group. And I think if I go here, just in case for people who are watching this on a recording, lead.com is where you can sign up for all these free classes. So I'll send this to you right now as well. If you're a client and you want to get into the mastermind group, log into your account and go to the support page and just ask them to add you to the account, and they'll do that. It's pretty easy. Our support page is down here on the bottom left. It's above your photograph. And just say, please add me to the mastermind group, and they'll get you some directions and get you in there. So I mentioned in the mastermind group that this post is here. And this is actually the #1 way of getting listing leads that turn into listing contracts. Okay. So when we're talking, Campbell, do you see the links? I don't know. Does everybody see the links that I've been sharing, or did I share them in the wrong way? To everyone? No, everybody should have them. Yeah. Okay. So it looks like people are getting them. So Campbell, you'll just look there. So let's kind of dive in this. So last fall, Pat had said, hey, I'm mailing out 100 just sold. And yeah, Michelle is saying, I found the links on the question mark icon in the upper right of the screen. Campbell, maybe that'll help you there. Here is saying, I'm mailing out 100 just sold letters. And she's also saying that I mailed out 100 just listed. And if you read the notes and you read the comments, this is one home. She mailed 200 pieces of mail. It did take her 4 hours. You see here that I think it took her 4 hours to do this time, but she says 132 and then print, so about $172. This letter is called the Nearby Homeowner Letter. We create it for every listing that's in your account. She uses it every time she has something just listed, and then she uses it again when she has something just sold. Okay. And she does something that I've never seen another client do. She prints 100 and then she flips it over and she prints on the back. She uses Microsoft Publisher to print on the back, and it looks like an envelope. So then she folds it, she handwrites these envelopes, and you can see that little red stamp looking thing that kind of makes you think that she bought a stamp for that street, but actually Publisher did that, right? And then she has these, I don't know if you can see it, they're little like circular stickers, and that's how she closed it. The point of this letter is you can tell if I'm just looking at it that it has content, and from the red stamp on top, you know it's about your neighborhood. And so the point is, if you get this to people with equity, not just mailing to a random zip code, but to mailing it with people with equity, ideally with 4 or 5 or 6 years equity, now you've taken our most powerful tool and put it right in front of the right target audience. Okay. So that's a really important thing to recognize. So just to repeat, she had one listing. She mailed 100 letters like this when it was just listed, and then she sold it and she mailed another 100 letters. Same home, 200 pieces of mail, has 8 listings for her this year. She did this work from September to December of last year, has converted 8 people who are going to be selling their homes with her this year. I recommend, and I've certainly spoken to, I talked to a lot of agents. I have heard people say, oh, I used that and it didn't do anything for me. And I think you could say that just about anything, right? But this is our top tool for getting listings, not just because of Pat, but because many of our clients use this consistently and it starts to work. Pat's probably been a client of ours for more than 10 years. And if you look in the mastermind group, you will notice that she keeps talking about this letter and how she's getting listings in condos and getting more listings in condos and just getting more business with it. Here's a question from Isabel. What do you recommend if it's an off-market property? So what was it? Was it for sale and then got pulled, like it expired? Because that, I'm not sure what your question means. What do I think about that? But that's a letter. I guess what you're saying is I have a property that's off market and you could have that kind of letter. You could. I don't know if it would make a ton of sense to everybody, but the letter would be there. If the property is off market, it's going to be in your account and that letter will exist there. Oh, it's already pending before it made it to the MLS. Yeah. Oh, so that means that is it sold now, Isabel? Is it sold? And let's go over to the listing section to go see where this tool is. Yeah. And then once we do that, and Isabel wants to answer the question if the property is sold, I guess what you're saying is it's pending. Okay. I would wait for it to get sold. I would put the listing in this account. And whenever you have a listing, let's see here. Here's one here that's pending. If I click on market listing, the nearby homeowner letter is right here, right? And if I download it, it's going to, well, let's just look at it real quick and see what this thing looks like. You could do it as pending. It's not really, I think it makes more sense to the market when you are doing something just sold or just listed. And you can see this is the nature of the letter. There's going to be a picture of the home and it says, hey, you want to let you know it's pending, going to close soon, get more info here. That's going to affect your home value. Go to this page and go get your free home back, right? That's how this whole letter works. And you might recognize this, and agents have been running ads on Facebook for years with that kind of thing. Used to be really powerful. It's not so powerful now, but I actually have some ways to show you how to make that very powerful again. So let's talk about, now that we know like this letter is really cool and you might want to use it, let's talk about the most effective way that I think you can get this into the market. And that is by finding another partner. You might have different technologies available in your MLS. You might have real estate partners who can get you these things. But what I want every one of our clients to do is get a list of homeowners with 4 or 5 or 6 years equity or more. And that, you know what I mean? Get that list. It should be a minimum 1,000 leads long. I work with a team. I set up teams in offices around the country. These companies I'm showing you right now, they all sell this kind of list. What you want is you want name, email, and phone number and address. Okay. And you get that. And I'm going to show you how you apply it. And you want to make sure they have at least 4 or 5 years equity or 6 years, whatever the company is selling you. They have sometimes a different metric. I know you might hear Remind, I think, used to grade the people likely to sell. And frankly, I think that grade is useless. You're welcome to use it, but the average length of homeownership in the United States is 7 years. That's just a true statement. So if you're finding somebody with home that have owned a home for 7 years, you're right there on that point. 6 years, 5 years, a lot of people are selling their homes in. They're part of that same average. These companies sell it. And once you get that, now you know that they have equity. So you're mailing a letter like this to those people every month. My recommendation to get more listings is to mail a letter from us, something in print, twice a month. Now, if you try to mail to 10,000 people, that's going to be really expensive. But if you mail to groups of 100, that's affordable, right? It's usually between $100 to $200 to get something out, right? So but what you want to think of is, if I want to, and you don't want to start this in one farm market. Most of you work in 5 or 10 farm markets, right? So it becomes a little bit unwieldy to go after a bunch all at once. But if you get your best farm market, your top one, and you get that list and you start this program that I'm going to describe to you, you're going to have more listing. And as you get more listings, you're going to get more buyers. And as that machine starts going, then you can expand and do the same thing in the adjacent farm market that you want to build. And this works. This is working for so many of our clients. I highly suggest you follow these steps. First one is get that list from whoever you want to get it, right? Then find the tools that we can get out that you can mail to that. And that would be the nearby homeowner letter. It's also the postcards. Okay. So remember how I said you probably have companies that have your stuff. You have these tools like, oh, I have postcards, right? But your postcards are nothing like our postcards. Notice this one. This is pending. And let's see if I can see it. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a web address at the top. So it says it's pending. You could take this postcard to your own computer and go check that out. You can also scan that QR code and you're going to find out more about that home. When a home is pending, just so you know, or if it's under contract or sold, the call to actions on that listing are basically that affects your home value, and type in here to get your home value. So marketing a home that is pending or under contract or sold is going to get you more listings. Okay. Now, a lot of free tools are created. If you're really serious about it, there is a virtual tour and a single property website that will capture seller leads. You can always share those for free on your socials, right? And just say, hey, this home is pending or it's under contract. We got 5 offers, and check it out. And that just gives people an idea. And when they click on it, they're going to be offered a free home value. Notice on the back of our postcard, it's going to say straight up, this affects your home value. Go here to get your free home value. So what you're looking for and what you can expect is an ROI, right? A return on your investment when doing print. Most times, if I ask a realtor what their return on investment is on print, their eyes just go right back in their head, right? Because they just do it because print's been around longer than the internet and they think they should do it. And that's cool. I understand branding. You can keep boiling the ocean and something will pop up. But if you want to mail 100 of these postcards, like our clients are telling us, we get 1 listing every time we mail this, right? Just sold. Let me have a sip of coffee. If you have questions, let me know. The door hangers are good too. I'm going to tell you a different story about door hangers in just a minute. But when it comes to listings, you can borrow a listing. You might have a farm market that you really want to build a business in, but you don't have listings. You could borrow a listing from a colleague, put it in here, and this tool would be available for you. You can use your list and mail it to those people, right? Now, also the e-flyer for the database. This is an e-flyer for your CRM. So if you're an agent with hundreds or thousands of leads, copy this, and you should be copying this once a week. Any of our flyers are, so you go, those are 3 links, 1, 2, and that picture is a link. So you can just go check out that home. And since it's pending, it's going to offer you a free home value. And then right below it on the same flyer, it's going to say, get your free home value. Go here and get your free home value. So 1 flyer can get you listing, right? Here's another thing you want to do. If you have more than, let's say 500 leads in a database, you want to hit copy and blast out this page on those leads once a week on any flyer we have. As we continue to talk, you're going to see some other flyers. But even if a home is open house, even if it's just listed, even if it's sold or pending, you can market that as with an e-flyer, because every one of them is going to say that affects your home value, get your free home value, right? So that's why so if you've got leads, copy and blast out our flyers once a week. Okay. So now you know you want to be mailing something twice a month, and then you want to be doing flyers once a week, 4 times a month. You're also going to want to run some ads, but we're not going to look at that just yet. We're going to go over here to landing pages. And there's a couple things I want to say to you about, let's see, Campbell's got a question, but the links don't show on the mobile app, but show in my laptop. Are you talking about the link showing inside a GoToMeeting? Then get the links on your laptop. So on the landing page section, when you come here, you will have, I think, 5 landing pages: free home values, down payers, just new construction, iBuyer, and recruiting. You can create unlimited landing pages, and you definitely want to create some landing pages. And the first one is going to be an instant home value. Okay. So what I want to point out is this one here, this free home value here. When I was showing you, what you need to understand is, as you're using any of our tools, you will notice that there will often be a graphic and it'll say, what is your home? Find out what your home value. It might be, you have an open house tool. It might be a flyer. It might be many different tools. We are always asking people if they want their home value with our tools. And we do this even on the buyer side, because we know that there are a lot of people out there looking at homes that are for sale, not because they want to buy it, but because they want to sell one and they want to do their research before they call you or any realtor, right? And so this first one that says free home values, if you click on edit and tools, you can change that picture. And if this neighborhood that we have this picture, which is over 10 years old, I can't remember when we bought this kind of stock image, but if your image doesn't look, if your neighborhoods don't look like that, all you got to do is click upload image over here and change that. And then that will be reflected. If you're living out in Miami, this doesn't look like that. Living in Vermont, Pennsylvania, your stuff doesn't look like that. Nor does it look like that in Arizona and other places. So it's really easy. Make sure the image is about 15 to 2000 pixels wide, landscape view like this, and just replace it. Then that will flow through all your tools. That's step one, right? You should do that. But you should then go to create landing page, click on property valuation plus, and why doesn't somebody give me the name of one of their favorite towns where they want to go? So the farm, what type of letter do you send them in groups of 100? This is what we're going to say. We're going to answer that. What state is Ackworth in? And what is, you do got to spell right. And you just type in the name of the town, Georgia. So everybody can do this. We're just going to do one here. And we click create landing page. Okay. And what's a big landmark in Ackworth, Campbell? Yeah. Is there like any big buildings, a school, a university, a bridge? Is there a really popular restaurant that everybody loves in this town? Let's go here. Kennesaw Mountain National Battlefield. Okay. So this is what the landing page looks like. Okay. It's going to have your reviews and it's going to have this picture of a coffee cup. And you got to ask yourself, what are you trying to do with this? So, and what you're trying to do is you're trying to get people to give you their address and their email and their name. Okay. And I'm pretty sure when you go to a website and somebody asks you for that, you're long gone. And so is everybody else. Your target market, they're not going to give you this information if they feel like they don't know what the heck this is, right? Who are these people with the coffee cup? That's why you want to go self a picture of, what's that? Kennesaw Mountain. Boy, that's a lot I got to spell there, but let's just hang tight. Kennesaw Mountain Battlefield. So everybody knows this one, right? And so you can go over here to images. Now I'm going to do this and you can actually get in trouble for doing it. But what we want is a large photo. I'll see if I can do this real quickly so we don't lose a lot of time here. And let's see. So when I click on this image here, it opens up on the right. And this says that this is about 1900 wide. So I'm going to download this and save image. Desktop. Okay, find it and put it here, right? So now when I go back here to the landing page, and I must have one here. Yeah. So to upload the image here, you just click upload. And you want to do this. So when the question was a moment ago, what do we send out twice? What are we sending to the market twice a month? I'm going to show you a couple of tools that I think you want to do. So you save this, right? You save this photo. And now everybody in Ackworth knows the area. And that's really trust. That's what we're doing here. Trying to establish some amount of trust because they don't know who you are. And you're about to take this page and say, hey, can I have your address and your contact information? So you need to have something. And honestly, what works very often is it a really popular restaurant in certain areas or a mall, things like that. What does everybody know? And I did one recently in a small town where there's a winery. And so we got a picture of the winery. But now that you have that, click on advanced options and click on print marketing, and you will see that you have a letter that you can update here and add some metrics of what's going on for the sales in the neighborhood. We call this a nearby home sold letter. So I showed you a nearby homeowner letter, right? And the nearby homeowner letter was about a house. This one is not about a house. It's about a neighborhood. And you would add the sales of what's going on in Ackworth in the past month. And it says that affected your home value. Scan this and go get your free home value. Pretty straightforward. You notice that there's not a lot of reading here, and that's because I just think we're in an ADD nation. People make split-second decisions, and that's what this is. You're gonna give them some data points of 20 homes sold last month, and the highest here, that affects your home value. Boom, they get it. They're not reading, big, heavy read here, right? So that's one of the tools that you wanna get into the market. This is the nearby homeowner letter. It looks very similar, but it's not about a neighborhood, it's about a home. So both of these you can mail to people in your area, in your core farm market. And that's what you want to do. You want to be mailing out groups of 100. If you can afford more, great. You're going to get better results, but that's what you're at. Okay. Now, if we also go back to this advanced options, there are also e-flyers. So you remember when I said, hey, you need to hit your database once a week. Here's another e-flyer. Copy the code here. It says, hey, these are the homes sold in the area in Ackworth. That affects your home value. You get your free home value. You know what that's about. And then see the other homes and see my reviews. Your reviews are in your account. They were going to be showcased there. And also, I'm going to share this with you. So a lot of our clients do our postcards and have told us like they get 100 per mailing, or I'm sorry, they get one listing per 100 mailed. But I had another client who I have a team account with over in Texas. And he says, wow, he said, what I do, he says, I create this page. Now it'll have the picture of that Canon in there when you download it. But he says, yeah, I print out 1,000 at Vistaprint. And he said, there's a good deal if you do 1,000. And he said, and then I hand them to my agents and I create a landing page unique for each agent, right? And so when I give them a group of their flyers and I say, go door knock, or don't even door knock. I'm sorry, he's not even door knocking. He's like, just go walk that neighborhood and hang this on the door knock. You don't need the knock. You can leave it. By the end of the day, they have listing lead because it's very simple. Okay, what's going on? Download here, right? Get your free home value, scan there. And it's great because I can totally tell who's walking the neighborhoods and who's not, because the people who are walking the neighborhoods are getting listing leads. And then you work on that, right? You work on converting that. Don't forget, print tools, postcards, door hangers, and the nearby homeowner letter can all be used, right? And again, if you're mailing something twice a month, your brand is going to start to get recognized, okay? And if you by chance are emailing them at the same time, because remember when I said you buy this list from whoever, upload that list to your CRM, okay? And that way you can take our flyers that I'm talking about and blast those flyers on those people. So imagine that you're mailing them, but you're also emailing them, once a week or a couple times a month or something like that. And so you're using the list in print and in e-flyers, right? Email. So what more can we do, right? And the big thing that we can do is ads. And so if we go to ads, all the tools that we create, before we go to ads, I want to stop and go over to PDF guides. Go to PDF. So there are 80 PDF guides for each of you. You're branded on every page with your logo, your colors, your picture on every page. And every one of these guides is about 5 or 6 pages long. All right. You can download them. If you're capturing listing leads, I actually recommend that you go to this page and you download one of these once a week. You paperclip your business card, you put it in a nice envelope, and you just leave it behind on those homes. When we're trying to capture leads for buyers, you can generate hundreds of buyer leads a week. It just depends on what kind of money you're spending, right, on that. When you're trying to generate listing leads, those lead costs are more expensive. So you're not going to end up with hundreds of leads every week, right? If you're fortunate, you might end up with 20 listing leads a week or maybe a month, depending on what you're doing. So you're not dealing with a lot. So you can afford to download one of these, which you can do it right here. Print it, print it multiple times. So you have multiple leads, and put your paper clip in and put it in a nice envelope and just leave it behind. Because there are 40 different topics and you don't know these people. You don't know what it is that they're thinking of, but one of these might be of value for you or for them. So let's see. Oh, also, when we say market, you can run ad. You have an e-flyer for your database. There are 80 of these. You have 80 e-flyers available to you just right on this page. There are print flyers that will get them to give you their information to download this for free. There's a lot of PDF guides you might want to be using that, right? You definitely want to use it. Now let's see some questions. So if you have questions, please let me know. Do we drop off the PDF? I would drop off the PDF. I would not mail it. I would mail the one-page letter or a postcard. Can we blast the flyers to the list that we get from a third party with the new FDC rule? No, I don't know the new rules, but if you are working with CRM, they're going to follow those rules, right? It could be MailChimp or Constant Contact. It could be Real Geeks. It could be Sierra Interactive. They all have this kind of functionality, and they definitely work in those. They're operating with rules. They're not going to damage their business like that. Martha has a question about getting the colors right. If you go to Profile down here, and let's go look real quickly, you'll have a section that says Appearance, right? And so you put your logo here. You can change these colors by clicking in here, and you might have an RGB color from your company or something. You could put that there and it'll snap it in. I recommend that you just keep them all kind of one color. Sometimes I leave this blue, but the reason being is that's going to be flowing. These colors are going to flow. This is a single property website look that we have here, but then you can click on PDF guide and you'll see that, oh, PDF guide looks like that, right? And so you see how it's got that blue, that's corresponding to here. Let me show you how quickly this changes, right? So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to put it here. And and notice that blue just changed. It went to this. We, on our side, try to make this custom color work. I don't think it's done right. So I just recommend having your main color all the way across. So, but it'll tell you right down here, once you make that change, that it's going to update the colors on the postcards, on the door hangers, and on every PDF. It takes a few minutes to change the thumbnails, but the underlying tools will be updated immediately. And then if you're printing them or whatever, that's going to be there. What's the name of this training? Top Tools for More Listings. And it will be on this page, which I sent to everybody, I don't know, 36 minutes ago. This is our YouTube channel. And I mentioned to everybody, watch this call, watch Top Tools for More Listing multiple times. I'm just sending this link to everybody right now. Okay. So I record this call, Top Tools for More Listings 13 days ago. There will be another one on here right about here in about a day. So nearby homeowner letter, nice landing page. There's going to be a letter behind that like this. This is the e-flyer, which is tied to that. But we're talking about the profile. So those colors are going to go there, right? They're going to go through all your tools. So where we really got to land is on ads. And so feel free to ask your questions. I'm going to finish a concept here that is going to tie up a lot of what we've been talking about. And then we'll answer all your questions. So please, if you have questions, put them in. So on the ads, you are meant to connect your Facebook ad account and connect your Google ad account. You can get a lot of leads, seller leads from Facebook. I'm going to show you how. They can be inexpensive. You can get seller leads from Google, and I'm going to show you how, and they're more expensive. Google is the #1 website in the country. Facebook is the #3 website in the country. The power of Google is that 86% of all questions asked on the internet are asked on this page. Okay. So if you want, I don't know, you want to know where to get a good martini, or you want to know how to get a good steak, or where to book a hotel, or how to sell your home, or what the cost is when you're going to sell your home, any real estate related question, 86% of the time is going to be asked on this web page. Okay. So if you want to compete there, like when somebody types in, how do I sell my home? You want to be on that page. Happened there, some dumb thing here. Sorry, guys. AI is getting in my way. In the rear. So this is a search. How do I sell my home? People type this word in all the time. I'll share something with you right now. Let's see here. But you can see who's sponsored. sponsored companies. How do you end up here? This really good article, and with all the keywords that people are driving or are typing in. But it's worth to know those keywords, because when people type in, you know, anything like, how do I sell my home? Is that a powerful search? Are people searching that? And the answer is yes, they are. There's an article, I think it's Virtuosity created it. Anyway, let's focus back here. If you want to create a listing ad on a sold property, you're going to get listing leads. On a pending property, you're going to get listing leads, and on under contract. If you want to run an ad on a landing page, what is your home worth in 10 or whatever that was, you could do that. If you want to run an ad on any of the PDF guides for homeowners, and you know there are 40, you can do that, and then people can download it for free. If you run an ad on a property that is sold or pending or under contract, just like this, the ad is pre-written. Leave it on lead ads, please. I don't know why people don't leave the default. Just leave it on lead ads. You're going to get name, email, and phone number. And when you do that, it's pre-written right here, right? And I can tell you, does anybody here, has anybody here not run ads on sold properties? Just give me a no if you have not run ads on sold properties with us, right? And I can tell you, we have a client, another client in Texas, a different client, and he ran a sold property just like this. He didn't do anything custom to it. He just clicked the property. It was sold, hit this thing here, publish. And he got one listing, like got a bunch of leads, but he converted the first lead who wants to sell a home for 400 grand and buy another for 150. So he's got 850 in volume from $150 ad. Okay. $4 lead. So you do it just like this. If you're not marketing homes out, this is the easiest way to get seller leads. When they respond, you're going to get their name, phone number, and email. Start texting the person until they're ready to talk to you. That's what this guy, Brian, method. And let's go back. You can also run ads on the PDF guides. Now, when you run an ad on those sold properties, those leads cost about $7 each on average. When you run an ad on a PDF guide for sellers, these leads cost about $10 each. Okay. So we'll wait here. We'll pick one real quick. Here, divorce and real estate. Lead ads, so that we're getting pre-populated name, email, and phone number. And you don't know who's thinking about a divorce, right? And they don't even know. They're just going around. And so I'm going to just say Dallas, right? Maybe somebody in Dallas is going to get a divorce who owns property, right? And anyway, you type in the name of the town, and of course, my keyboard being a jerk. And when you do this, you click publish. It's a $50 ad. Leave it on lifetime. That means it's a max budget. If you change it to daily, it means you can spend $50 a day. Over 7 days, that's $350. If you leave it on lifetime, that's telling them that's the maximum amount you want to spend. So what does it cost per lead when you run a PDF guide for homeowners? On average, the cost is $10 each. Okay, $10. And that means if you divide 10 into 50, you're going to get 5 leads. That's what you can make back. Now that number can go up or down depending on where you are in the country, but that's how it works. Then you can also run ads on the landing pages, like the one that we just created. Let's go see that. Do you know the zip code of your town there, Campbell? Okay, so I'm going to go here. Okay, let's see. 3, okay, so let's do this. 30101. And I'm going to leave that there and make sure it's blue like that. And then here's Ackworth right here. Oh, you got a 30101. Click out so it's blue so it sees that. And what that does when we click create ad is it pulls some of the stats, right? 8 homes sold in May 2024, the high was 477. That affects your home value. Boom. It's pre-written. So what you would think to do now that you got that fancy landing page ready and that's all relevant is that you type in Ackworth, Georgia, right? let's go see, and hopefully this is not going to be a jerk here, or city in Georgia. Let's see what would happen. This could be a really good ad, or it could be a great way to waste your money. But we'll have an answer for you in just a moment. And this is true for all of you. You can run that ad. You can create that landing page and create that ad. And okay, so this, and you could waste your money and you don't know why, because you've never sat on this call. This is Akron or Ackworth right here. Okay, this little section. And I'm going to back out, and that's 2 miles. So 2. This right here, maybe a little bit tighter. This big section here is a 15-mile radius. And Ackworth's right here. So you see all these little towns here, all these towns. And then this big town, what is this? Is this Decatur? I don't even know, but I'm going to guess there's 500,000 people in this 15-mile radius that don't live in Ackworth. But with the settings that Facebook gives you, you're going to be wasting your money, because you want only to talk to these people in Ackworth, but you're not targeting just them. You're doing them in 15-mile radius. This is why so many people get frustrated with Facebook. So I actually tell you, don't use location here. Instead, create a list, custom audience of homeowners in Ackworth. And that's what I was saying earlier, right? Go to ListSource, go to Remind, go to Reddit, wherever you want to get it, and get that list of homeowners with equity, and then upload it and call it down here, instead of L2L custom audience, call it Ackworth homeowners, right? So how do you do that? We make it really easy. There's a button here that says create audience. Click it. Type it in. The name of yours would be Ackworth. It has to be minimum 1,000 leads long. Okay, so you can do this in neighborhoods too, but it has to be a minimum 1,000 leads long. And it's showing you right here what that needs to look like. Your spreadsheet needs to have those titles and those 4 rows, nothing more. When you buy a list from whoever, there's going to be 20 or 30 rows of data. Save that all and then make a copy and get it cleaned up for this. And then when you import it, it lives in your Facebook account. So even if you stop working with, it's going to live in your Facebook account. And if you intend to be in real estate for, I don't know, any number of years, you want to do this as soon as you can for all of your farm work. You want to get these in, because you might say, hey, this is too complicated for me. Listings, leads, I can't get it. I can't do it. But if you have those lists in your own Facebook account, you will always be able to target those people. And if you try to create a custom audience inside of Facebook, God bless you. It is a really difficult and challenging way to do. I say not even 1% of all realtors have done that, because it's just not the easiest thing. Here, click that button, get the name, put it in the spreadsheet, import it, it's done. Very easy. Let's see here. Your screen is stuck on create. Is my screen stuck, guys? Create for landing page is on my computer. Are you following me? Because Brandy's telling me that my screen is stuck. Do you do retargeting ads on these lists also with PDF guides as an offer? Yeah, you can. So if you create Campbell is thinking of this area, Ackworth, right? And if you created a list, and some of you work in areas where your business is distributed evenly across like multiple towns, multiple cities. And others of you, maybe the majority of your business is in one farm market like Ackworth. And if that were the case, and you want to develop that, or maybe you live in that neighborhood and you want to deliver that, you might want to use that custom audience on PDF guides, because you're targeting those people. You might want to do a landing page. You might even want to say, hey, I just listed something. It doesn't even have to be in that neighborhood. You could just be saying, I'm doing this action. Because if you're trying to build your brand in Ackworth, you might want them to know everything that you're doing. I have an open house. I just listed something, or I just sold something. Even if it was 5 or 10 miles away, because when they're logging in on Facebook, they're going to see your ads, and then they're going to be getting your letters because you're mailing, and they're going to be getting your emails because you're emailing them, and they're going to go, oh, this is our local realtor, right? That's what you want to be doing. You can, of course, not target those people, and all these people will see that. And that might be beneficial because you're building that out too, right? So you can mix it up a bit. Let's see here. I cover a lot of areas. Yeah. Yes, I understand. So I gave you some examples of how to think about that. How do I find email and phone number for my farm? Claudia, these companies, you want to call them listsource.com, remind.com, Redx, Vulcan 7, Coal Resources. You want to get that list for at least one farm market and do the things that I have described here. So let's wrap up what I have described here. And if you have questions, please put them in. Oh, Campbell has that list, so that's awesome. So anyway, you're going to get that list. And I really highly recommend you do this, right? You're going to mail twice a month any print tool that we've got to at least 100 of those people every year. You're going to do an email blast because now you have their emails because you bought it from ListSource or wherever. So you put that in your CRM or in your MailChimp, and you're going to email them any one of our flyers, any flyer on the PDF guides, any flyer on any of your listings, any flyer on any landing page, right? And then you're going to run ads in front of them as well. Now, the ad budget is, let's talk about ad budget. Let's talk about running a sold ad, okay? And we do a sold ad, and these leads cost $7 each. But whenever you run an ad on a property that is later stage, that's going to get you listing leads, our budget is $50. That's a 7-day ad for $50. You might take this out and target your custom audience, right? You don't have to, but you might, right? If these leads cost $7 each, divide 7 into 50, and you're going to expect 7 leads, okay? And that's literally $50 a week on Facebook is what I tell rookies to budget, right? Rookies, you've been in it for less than a year. You don't have a lot of business. You don't have listings. If you have listings, and it doesn't matter how long you've been in the business, if you're managing 2+ listings at a time, I would tell you your Facebook ad budget should be between $300 to $500 a month. And that's because you're running ads on the listings to get buyers. And you're going to run ads like these to get more listing. And so if you're running, and you can manage it. If you're doing 6 ads a week or a month or 8 ads a month, you divide it by whatever the budget is and you get to those numbers pretty quick. I do want to point out that when you're capturing leads, I'm talking about cost per lead, and here's how many leads you would expect. But each one of these ads are seen by thousands of people, okay? And that's a big thing for your brand. Like, I don't even know where Ackworth is, but I'm going to guess in a 15-mile radius, Campbell over there is competing with what, 20,000 agents or less. What's that number? And if you're competing against that many agents, who knows that you're a realtor besides your friends and family, right? And so when you're running, let's just say $200 worth of ads every month on Facebook, probably around 10,000 people are going to see you every month and know you're a realtor because your business page is sponsoring that. And of course, you're talking about home values, or you're talking about selling homes or open houses or whatever. That's building your brand, and Facebook is really awesome for that. So you can figure out your budget there, right, of what you want to be doing. I talk about Google, though. I did mention it's the #1 website in the country. And yeah, it's a lot easier. You could say, hey, I have that thing on, of course, right here, and create ad. Now, if you try to create an ad in Google, it's hideous. I've done it. It's no fun. If you are ever able to be successful on Facebook, Google is way more ugly. Now, my keyboard, but you basically would type in Ackworth again. There we go. And publish. And that's it. Now, here's the thing, though. It's a $50 a day budget, 7 days. So that means you can be spending $350. What happens? These words are the keywords that they're typing. And when they click on the link, they land on this page. And you know what this page does. So you can use these landing pages or any of the landing pages for the PDF guide on Google, but those leads cost more. Our clients, I think in any industry, it's true, these convert faster than Facebook leads. Because the difference is, like, when I'm going to Facebook, And the power of Facebook is 70% of American adults spend 40 minutes every day here, right? They're seeing what their friends are doing. This is a little ad by some company, clothing company, right? Uh-oh. Hey, is that me? No, that's not me. Sorry. I actually got honked at by a big ship recently. But they're looking at what their friends are doing, right? Here's my friend. She's out in France now, right? And there's some shopping. And then you see what your friends are eating or recipes. Like, it's so powerful that American adults spend 40 minutes every day scrolling through this nonsense. And if you're putting up there that, hey, you've got an open house or you've got whatever, whoa, what's happening with Clay? This guy's one of our stars. He's leaving. Oh my God. Oh, okay, sorry. That's big news. Whoa. Anyway, when you run an ad on Google, totally different thing. People go to Google with a question they need an answer on, and your ad is supplying the answer. And that's why it converts faster, right? I wasn't over on Facebook looking at cats and watching the Warriors. I was like, no, I need an answer. Boom, I type it in here. Your ad pops up and you're offering value right there. And that's why it's so different, right? That's why it's like you're answering their question that moment. And so you definitely, there's a value for that, but you can get a lot of leads without Google. But I think if you're in the business for a while and you really understand, you know that you have to compete there. We make it very easy. So let's see here. So is it better to run an ad for a custom audience rather than targeting a city? If you're trying to use a landing page like this, yes. That's exactly right. Right. If you're trying to get buyers, or if you're running, hey, I sold a home in whatever town, you don't need to have that custom audience. But if you are running a custom audience for a town that is surrounded by other towns, then you probably need audience. Now, let me show you this just to give you some perspective of like how the actual thing can work without a custom audience. But you want to think about the custom audience in a couple ways, not just for ad, but also for emails and for print. This is your farm market that you want to own, right? This is Elko, Nevada. I drove through here, right? It's like in the middle of, right? There's a couple towns here, but I tell you, they're probably gas stations. If I was running an ad in Elko, Nevada, I wouldn't be worried about what I'm overshooting because it's all desert. So a 15-mile radius isn't going to hurt me, right? I don't know where you guys live, but that's what you want to think of. If you live over here where it's getting dense, right? 15 miles from here, all these people are going to see this, right? If you get down here in the San Francisco Bay Area, it's bananas. There's millions of people here. I don't know where you all live. Even here, which is Central California, this big road here cuts through the middle of California. About every 15 minutes is a town. So that means every 15 minutes, about 15 miles, you're going to be running an ad here and showing people over here and here. That's why custom audiences are valuable. But they're not only valuable for custom audiences on Facebook, they're valuable because you're going to email those people and you're going to mail print to them. And that's how you're going to build your farm and get listings from that farm. That's my story for today. Are there any more questions? Let's see. For email marketing, is it better to send emails to all in your CRM or smaller sample that are categorized of buyers and sellers? Personally, I think you should not try to categorize things because often you capture leads and you think they're a buyer and then you see them sell a home, right? So unless you have a real serious connection with your leads, I wouldn't waste my time. I would just be hitting them all with anything I could frequently. So for a Facebook custom audience, we ran just sold. And so the just sold ads, you don't need a custom audience. For the home valuation landing page, I think you absolutely need that. Unless you live in Elko, Nevada, right? Then you're cool because you're surrounded by tumbleweeds. But don't forget, you got print letter, you got postcards, you got door hangers if you're cool with walking. You got the nearby homeowner letter. This should be one of the tools by all means. And just as an aside, when I'm telling you put 2 pieces of mail in your market every month, A lot of our clients will mail this out when they have something just listed. So they'll talk about the property, and when it's just sold. So you can always do that if that makes just easier to remember. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget lead gen webinars. You can sign up for our other classes here. This call is being recorded. It will be on our YouTube channel. And like I said earlier, I think getting listings is going to be more important to the industry. I recommend you watch a few of my calls called Top Tools More Listings. The bulk of it's going to be repetitive, but you want to know the nuances of certain aspects of the platform. You're welcome. Well, yeah. Okay. I will say this about email marketing, because I'm pretty sure most of you don't know, but you want to be aware that you don't want to be getting hit as a spammer, and most of your CRMs will throttle or governor how many messages you can send out at one time. Just be cautious of that. You're paying attention to that. You're welcome to late. Okay, everybody, enjoy the rest of summer. And if you have questions, you can let me know. We've got a great support team. I'm Vincent, Listings to Leads. If you need a team account or you need an office account, reach out to me. And please, I'll stay here for a moment. If some of you got in late, there is a more section on the GoToMeeting chat bar, navigation bar. Go there, go to materials, and download this PDF guide. And I'm just going to read it for you so you have a minute. Mail out the nearby homeowner letter. That's the top, right? Run Facebook ads for pending, under contract, and sold. Create a property valuation page for your farm. We did that. And run ads on Facebook and Google. We talked a lot about that. You can run ads on any seller PDF guide. You can market the seller PDF guides. There's lots of ways to get those out. The home sold report is in the advanced options to all the home value pages, just sold postcard, and blasting, and get sellers to share their tools. Yeah. And the last thing I say here is upload a homeowner custom audience to Facebook for better targeting. Frankly, that should be number one on the list now. I think it's going to get more competitive. I hope you understand that, and I hope you take advantage of that technology we're making available for you. Thanks again, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.